Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Series Vintage Retro Marvel Classic Hercules, and you can see it comes with the golden mace. So here is not just a repaint, this is actually a brand new figure. There might be some reuse going on with Hercules. It looks like maybe the upper torso, the arms and everything might be the same. I think the legs, the lower body is what is going to be new with this particular version of Hercules, and I think he looks pretty damn good, so we're going to take a look at him. We have the retro style packaging, so this is another one. Tigra is the other figure that had come out this year that has gone back to the Avengers retro. So we have not had this carded look since the Gray Hulk deluxe figure. And then because we had Wave 1, we have Wave 2, we had the Hulk San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, then we had the Gray Hulk that released on this particular style card. This is like the Marvel Classic or Avengers, if you will. So Tigra brought it back, and now we have Hercules here, and you can see it says Hercules there. We get the artwork there. Looking at the back of the package, we see the same artwork of Hercules there. His bio reads, "The hero of Olympus, Hercules uses his mythic strength to prove he is worthy of immortality." So, pretty interesting. The figure looks really good. When they first revealed it, we saw a digital render of it. And for the most part, the figure looks the same compared to what that digital render was. So it's going to be pretty interesting, but it's a very classic look for Hercules as opposed to like the kind of the modern look that this figure had taken on. I thought this was a really good figure. Let's see how this new one is. Okay, so here is the Hercules figure out of the package, and he looks pretty good. We do get some reuse here, so his whole upper body is going to be reused. We get two new head sculpts. The hands are the same, and then the lower body is going to be all new. In fact, the legs are actually pinless, whereas the elbows are not because they are reused from this previous Hercules figure that came in the Avengers Endgame wave. Was it Wave 1, the Thanos Build-A-Figure? I believe it was. So the same arms, same torso, but lower half of the body is going to be all new. There's some really good things about this figure, and there's some really crap, shitty things that I absolutely hate. So you see his legs? That's supposed to be his skin. Notice how it doesn't match the rest of the figure? That's because the boot or the sandal, whatever it would be, is that brown plastic, but then they painted the skin tone, and it looks like garbage because look how darker it looks. I promise you it's much worse actually having it in hand as we take a zoomed in look at the figure. Hopefully you will see that, and you will see that it is crap. But other than that, he's actually a really good looking figure, and the two head sculpts are really cool. I will do head swaps with these two onto this body, that one onto this one, to see if it's something that works, but these head sculpts look really good. So now let's take a closer look at Hercules and see what he's all about. Look at that $1 million smile right there of Hercules. Dang, right? Before we get into it, so here he has the golden mace. So this is his mace weapon here, as you can see. And we get this like leather bound like type strap there. It is different from the mace that the previous Hercules, I guess, would you call this a mace? That's like a axe, right? It's not even necessarily a mace. So it is something that did not come with the previous one. We get a nice green there, a little bit of gold at the end of that handle, and then this just golden plastic. It is cast in that plastic. It is not painted, so you can see the kind of the metallic and a little bit of marbleization through there. In terms of accessories, he has on the figure, he has these two open hands, and then he also comes with a pair of fists like so, which I already kind of put one on the other and whatnot. So there is the smiling head sculpt, and it looks pretty good. You can see he has short hair. He does not have the man bun of the previous version that came. The hair is like a separate piece, and then the hair that's in the back of the figure they painted. So we got a gloss brown, whereas the top is a very matte, flat color brown. But the brown also matches the beard, which was painted on. It kind of has a little bit of shine to it, so I guess that kind of matches, but it doesn't match the top of the head. But there is the smiling head sculpt. Let's go ahead and swap the heads now. So we have that smiling one, and then here we have kind of the menacing look, the gritting his teeth like he's ready for battle type look. And that looks really good as well. Same thing going on with the hair on the back there. But that looks really good. Here we have the shoulder straps. What would you even call that? That's not a bandolier because I'm not sure what the point of it is. It doesn't hold anything. Nothing like that. It's just done in this green color. We got those bulbs there, but there's not really any paint well, there might be a little bit of metallic paint added to those bulbs, except in the back where you can see that it's completely flat green, nothing going on. Whereas the ones in the front, you do get a little bit of color difference, and it's hard to tell, like over the bright lights. It looks over the bright lights, excuse me. Looks like maybe a little bit of silver, tiny bit of silver paint added onto those kind of those bulbs or rivet spots there. His belt, we get this big ass H there done in gold paint. That looks pretty good. Just the brown paint. He's got the green tights. He's got these gold gauntlets, as you can see there. It's just molded in that same gold plastic like the golden mace there. So there's some marbleization in there, but it doesn't look bad. Going on into the lower half of the figure, we have the legs. And so here, notice those sections of his legs are so much darker in color than the other parts of the skin tone. That's because, again, these sandal boots are the brown plastic, and then the skin tone is painted over it, and then it looks really bad. I hate when Hasbro does that, because when you have the two body parts that are so close together, it's just really noticeable, and I don't like the way it looks. So that is unfortunate. And then he's got his big ass feet, and these feet are much nicer to hold him, to get him to stand up, whereas this previous Hercules, you could see, much smaller feet. He doesn't want to stand. He's not as sturdy. You really have to kind of like work it. And I know he's got weapons in the back, but still he's not as sturdy because his feet like aren't as wide and they aren't as big to get him to stand. We get some nice arm hair painted throughout his arms, chest hair like we had kind of in the previous. This one, it seemed to be kind of be all over his torso and everything, going up to his shoulders. This one, we get it really just in his pecs. We don't get it in his lower abdomen or anything like that. So they changed the pattern a little bit, but at least this one has hair on the arms, whereas the previous one did not. But there's Hercules. While we're at it, let's go ahead and do this. Try the head swap and see if it'll work. Should, since they use the same torso piece, you would think that the hinge and everything would be the same. So yeah, that head pops on there, and that looks pretty good. It's just the gold really doesn't match. We get more of this copperish bronze color as opposed to the gold. But if you want to look at like the previous Hercules figure, you can pop the head on there. You get a little smiling, and that could work because we almost get a little bit of the gold here on his wrist, a little bit there on his belt. That can actually work. The skin tones aren't exactly a match, but I don't think it's too far off that it's not going to work. I think it's hard to see it in camera. He looks a little bit more tan than the new one compared to this one. Like an orangish like hue compared to this one. Whereas this skin tone actually seems darker, but this one just seems a little bit more orange, even though he's not really orange. If that's hopefully that kind of makes sense. What I'm trying to get at. Hopefully you guys can kind of see the difference. So pop that head on there, works as well. So that is pretty cool. I actually kind of like the way this looks. I actually really like this head sculpt. I don't know, even though he's got a man bun, I think it's actually a really good head sculpt. These ones aren't bad. You know, the smiling one's definitely better. But I think this head sculpt was really, really good. But you guys let me know which one of the three is your favorite as I pick up the one that I dropped, the smiling face. You guys let me know which one out of the three is your favorite. And I can't get him. See, he falls easily, but let's do this. Which one of the three is your favorite? Smiling, the old one, or the other new one? Okay, so let's go over Hercules articulation. He can look all the way down. He can look all the way up. So that is fantastic. You get a full rotation in there. Some pivot, not a whole lot. Shoulder, you're only going to get the shoulder to go out that much, which actually isn't bad. You get a full rotation in there, of course. You have an upper bicep swivel there. You get a double jointed elbow, which gives you a little bit more than 90 degrees, but his bicep is so damn large you can't get take advantage of the elbow anymore. But we get a decent range going there. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge. We have an ab crunch, so Hercules can crunch forward that much, which is pretty good. He can go back quite a bit there, as you can see. We have a waist swivel in there. You kind of have to move the belt around to get that waist swivel to work, but it is in there. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that high. Leg goes back a tiny bit. We have an upper thigh cut in there. double jointed knee, and again, that is a pinless knee, like so. There is a boot swivel, so right at the top of the boot sandal thing. And then you have foot that hinges down, hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So there is Hercules articulation. Not too bad for a big guy. Can't really complain there. Okay, so here's the kind of the proper side-by-side comparison of the two Hercules figures, and they are about the same height, which makes sense since the upper bodies are going to be the same. The lower bodies sit at about the same height, so size-wise, you know, he's there. He's got bigger feet on the new one, though, of course, which provides a little bit more stability when getting him to stand up. Although this is the more classic look, and I think the look most people would want, I do still really like this figure, and this is probably my favorite of the two. I don't know, something about this figure I just really like. But you guys let me know down in the comments below which one of these Hercules figures is your favorite. Okay, and here's another side-by-side comparison. Here we have the new Hercules next to the Ares figure. This is not the Build-A-Figure. This is the Ares figure that came in the Thor Ragnarok wave, the Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure, and you know, we could throw in the other Hercules in there. But Ares is much bigger than even Hercules. Let's see, without, you know, the helmet and stuff. Still a little bit taller, kind of bulkier. So there we go. Okay, and that is my review of the Hercules figure. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of this figure. Do you prefer this more classic look, or did you like that more modern take on the Hercules figure before? I still like that Hercules figure more, even though this classic is still very good. For whatever reason, I just like the look of that Hercules more. But this Hercules does look very good. The smiling face came out great. I love the retro card. Of course, I do have two. One will go on my wall, and then I have the second to open here. But you guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of Hercules. Just so you guys know, I did get mine from Entertainment Earth. They did ship out some orders. It's probably pre-order again. I will include links in the video description below so you can put in some pre-orders through Amazon or Entertainment Earth. They are my affiliate links. But yeah, you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this figure. If you guys liked the video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.